I planted one of these about 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago in this garden, and it's actually pretty shaded, except it does get bright sun from, say, like this area. Sorry for moving the camera around so fast. I just got bitten by an ant. So it really loves it here. Look, it's got this pup and spiny thorns and another, maybe that's the fading mama or something, and then another pup over there. But also I just took another one out, so let's walk this way. This is my nursery area, but also my shade garden. And I just popped this one off and used these fiskars to cut this apart. And now I'm gonna take these. This is actually 3 from there. Oh, another one, 4 from here. So I'm gonna take all these off and put them out in a row over here, since my caladiums on this side didn't come out as nice as the caladiums on this side. And so I'm gonna plant these here. Similar conditions as over there. That might be a little bit shadier. Oh man, now I'm bleeding too from getting punctured by that. They're pretty. That's like blood, folks. Anyway, I'm gonna cut these off as long as I leave, a little bit, I suppose. They don't have to be terrestrial. They don't have to be planted in the soil. They can be just planted on a log. So I'm just gonna put them here. I do think eventually, I have so many downed trees from the hurricane years ago, that I think that I can make a really nice display at some point. And I ordered a bunch more bromeliads from Etsy, which should be coming here tomorrow, the next day, from Grower Gyms. And I think that I'm starting to have a bromeliad addiction. So anyway, let me get these cut up and planted. All right, so what I did was I had to cut the babies off. This one I would have liked to have had a little bit more of the stem, but I think it'll be just fine. And then this one actually pretty much just split off the other sister and cat. And there are a lot of these stupid eggs from bull ants, so I'm a little nervous about touching this right now, but I probably will remove, look at all of them. I'm gonna remove all these wet, kind of decaying leaves off the bottom, and then I'm gonna make sure they have good soil, and I'm just gonna plant them pretty much right here where they are to make a row of bromeliads. I also have this one. I bought one of these. I think this one's the mama, and she had 2 babies. So I'm gonna separate these as well. And here's a really old one I found back in the woods that this is actually doing better than I thought. I thought I lost it for a little bit. So I'm gonna separate these as well. And so I have a feeling this mama is probably fading. She's on her way out. What happens is they bloom and then they make pups. But from what I understand, the more you take the pups off, the more they're willing to make more pups. So you can get more pups if you separate them often. So these require good drainage. As you can see, the leaves will kind of rot out, like root rot, if they don't have good drainage. But that one was actually really happy there. It's just been raining a lot here in August, September in Florida. So I put some of this in. I'm sure it's not necessary, but it makes me feel good. So I'm gonna put that in, and I'm not gonna bury it too deep. Again, I don't want root rot. So I'll finish putting this one up, and I think I'm gonna grab some of the other ones from the main mama plant and put them here as well. All right, so I planted these 4 in, these 2 pups here, and the 2 mamas. I actually think that one's probably fading because it's a mama. But let me go and show you again where I took these, and I'm gonna get a couple more babies. So if you see here, I can kind of separate out the baby from the mama, and I'll just get a cut as close to the mama as possible. And then I'll have this one, and then I think, ooh, that one looks like a faded mama probably. And then I think there's another one on the end there, so I'm gonna grab those. All right, so I have those, and you can see I cut them off at the base, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of that orchid mix in, and I'm going to plant them next to the other ones. So the hole doesn't need to be that deep, and I just put a little bit of this orchid potting mix in. That's mostly bark and charcoal and some perlite, maybe some coconut coir. And there you have it. In less than 5 minutes, I went from having a failed caladium area to, storm's rolling in, story of my life, to having beautiful, these are, I want to call painted fingernails or something. I was going to say lipstick, but that's not it. I'll put the name on the screen. Oh, don't forget the babies. Here and there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 odd numbers makes an even. And this one looks like the most mature of the babies. That one looks like a fading mama. Actually, this one's the most mature, probably, of the babies. Looking forward to getting more pups now. Well, I'm starting to get hammered by rain, so I guess I'm not going to separate both of these, but I did separate this one, and it actually had more of a root. But from what I understand, and I'll look up this exact breed, but it just seems that the roots are there just to hold it in place so that it's stable. Ant bite again. And they take in all of their food from their leaves, so they don't need a root system. It's just to be epiphytic. They're aerial plants. Epiphytic means they just use it to hang onto a structure. They don't take the nutrients from the host tree that they're on. And I'm just going to dig a hole real close to this one and call it a day until the rain stops. So actually I didn't move it far, but I did move it enough so that it knew that I removed it from the mama plant. So hopefully when it's ready, it'll make its own pups. And here you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bromeliads in a row.